Saturday, Money in the Bank this Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sarah, 4 o'clock your time.
Mm-hmm.
Starting off with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Holy shit, I'm not prepared. The bank card. We have the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Off the top of my head, I know that we have Seth Rollins, El Grande Americano, Penta, Solo Sikoa, Andrade, and LA Knight.
Jesus Christ. 3 weeks after Money in the Bank, we then have Night of Champions. Like, can we not? We cannot.
So
Oh my God.
fun.
And then 2 weeks later, we have another Saturday night's main event.
Oh, I don't count that. I know that's that.
Oh wait, no, it's not 2 weeks. It's longer than that. Thank God. Okay.
Yeah, I don't count Saturday's main event as like a PLE.
Okay.
That's a glorified house show.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
sorry,
Anyway,
like that shouldn't be.
so we kind of talked about this when we were talking about Raw and trying to plug the TikTok No Nights Off show, but I've made a couple TikToks about it as well, and I still firmly believe that this is going to be another throwaway year for the men's Money in the Bank. I think that it's got to be Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins is going to cash in on Jey Uso because they've already set this up to make it look like, Jey is going to have issues with Seth and the Bronsons. They've said so many times that Seth needs to be champion. This is a golden opportunity. If they want to legitimize his new group, the best way to do that is to make him champion. I think that he's the only one, if we're really going to say that there's a possibility if he were to win and he cashes in and loses, he's the only one that it wouldn't like harm. If LA Knight or Solo Sikoa or like Penta won Money in the Bank and then they cash in and they lose, that's so bad. So
no, you can't have Penta lose.
No. And as far as the storylines go right now, like it doesn't make sense for any of them to be champion. It doesn't make sense for any of them to cash in on the either champion because it's just not going to happen. And I know that they can hold on to the briefcase for a while, but I don't see the benefit of that for any of them either. So to me, it's like Seth Rollins is the guy.
That's the only one I can think of out of that would make sense. A lot of people are saying LA Knight.
That
maybe.
Seems like, okay, no disrespect to LA Knight, but like, guys, come on. First of all, it's only his third Money in the Bank. I know that seems like a lot, but there's guys that have been in like 5 and never won. But as I said before, LA Knight winning Money in the Bank, that means that he's not cashing in anytime soon because he's not going to cash in on John Cena and he's not going to cash in on Jey Uso. So how long do you want him to carry around the briefcase as a prop for? That's all I'm saying. And like, let's say the next world heavyweight champion is Seth Rollins. Do we really think LA Knight is going to cash in successfully on Seth Rollins? Let's say the next champion after John Cena is Cody Rhodes. Do we really think that LA Knight is going to cash in on Cody Rhodes? No. So like, I'd rather he just wins the Royal Rumble. I'd rather that.
Yeah. I don't see anyone realistically either. In my eyes, to me, it's just more obvious that Seth's going to win. If even with all the hypotheticals that I'm thinking of in my head right now of CM Punk coming in and ruining it, Roman, which that seems very like a lot of them are very far fetched and very fantasy booking.
Well, and they wouldn't it be better for them to feud with Seth if he were champion?
Oh yes, 100%.
You know,
my question to you is though, if Seth wins, then who does he cash in on?
I said Jey.
Even
he's cashing in on Jey because if they want to get him hated more, he's got to cash in on the biggest baby face. It's Jey.
So
they've already faced each other.
Yeah.
And that match ended in a DQ, correct? That did not end in Seth winning, or Seth losing. Did that? I don't think that ended. No, that didn't end. I think that was a DQ.
No, that was who? No,
I forget.
Someone's got to fact us.
It might have been like Bronson. But anyway, so like they have that history, you know what I mean? And I feel like if they really want to ensure that Seth starts to get booed more than being cheered, They've got to have him do something against a guy like Jey Uso, who has a cult following, and they will hate anybody that takes that title off him. So to me, it makes sense. Seth does it on Jey. He's not doing it on John Cena. They don't want to move him to SmackDown.
But Gunther is supposed to face Jey.
I know, but why can't Gunther face Seth Rollins?
So when is the cash-in happen?
I'm thinking Monday. I'm still convinced it's going to happen mid-match because Gunther cannot take another pin by Jey Uso. It can't happen. So Seth pins Gunther or Seth pins Jey. Him taking a pin to Seth is not as bothersome as him taking another pin to Jey Uso. Like, it doesn't look as bad because of who Seth Rollins is. Because I don't care who you are, but Seth Rollins is up here. Jey Uso is not. So him losing 2 times in a row to Jey Uso is not a good look.
If you're gonna do that, I want to see Seth do it in an unprecedented way.
Mid-match.
You know, like if we're gonna protect everybody, you know, and Gunther's not gonna get cashed in on by Seth. He's not gonna have his match ruined once again by somebody. And Seth being the revolutionary, the visionary. Why couldn't he cash in on like an attack backstage or something?
He could also cash in at Money in the Bank while Jey is out in his tag match.
There you go. Now you're thinking.
But that would also mean that what happens with Gunther? Does that mean that Gunther then faces Seth Rollins on Raw instead?
Yeah, it's the winner. Yeah, it would be the winner.
Or the triple threat.
This is great. Like, this is the way we need to start thinking as wrestling fans now, is that you can't just go like anything can happen. Anything can happen. Any possibility. Like, how are they going to do it? And that's what makes you want to tune in. Like, that's what I'm interested in. Like, yeah, Seth winning. Yeah, that's great. Like, okay, that's my prediction. Fair. But now the question is, all right, how is he going to? What's he going to do next with it? Because anyone else, there's no real plan there. And even you can't even think of it because it's like any way that you have them do it, it's just going to ultimately hurt them in the end.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think they have to do something interesting because as of right now, there's only 4 matches at Money in the Bank. Last year there were 5. The year before there were 7. So there's something they have to do something
quality over quantity,
make it interesting. You know, so if that means there's a cash in or what, I don't know. But all I know is I need to see Seth Rollins win and I need to see him cash in successfully on Jey Uso. That's all I need. And for Gunther to still be in the title picture no matter what. That's my dream.
Talk women's Money in the Bank now.
Mm-hmm.
We got Roxanne Perez, Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Naomi, and Raw's newest superstar, Stephanie Vacor. Pulling double duty. This one's a toss-up. See, this one could go anywhere. This is not as straightforward as men's one. This is where we can get
torn
fun.
between Stephanie and Roxanne. Roxanne, because there's immediate storyline payoff for her to win the briefcase. So like if we're using the same thought process that we are with the men, it feels like it makes the most sense for it to go to Roxanne because of what they're trying to do with the Judgment Day. And that would create absolute chaos within the group if she left Money in the Bank with the briefcase, especially after Liv losing her qualifying match and whatever. But then we also saw them tease Rhea versus Stephanie. Now, what would be a better way to ensure that happens than Stephanie winning Money in the Bank and then they just eventually make Rhea champion again?
Oh, I wouldn't go. Okay.
But you could also have Stephanie lose and she wins the Rumble and Rhea is champion and then that's the match.
But here's a lot of people are talking about Naomi.
I know, but I see like I as far as like maybe deserving it because of like the work that she's been doing recently, like I agree 100% Naomi. I just don't really know how that fits into what she's doing with Jade and Bianca right now. Like how does having the briefcase or becoming women's champion really, what does that do? Because there's no title involved in this beef with Jade and Bianca. So like her getting the briefcase or maybe successfully cashing in, what does that do for that story? It doesn't do anything, because it wasn't about that. It's about like their friendship and their tag team, and like, you know, Jade getting in the way and messing that up. I don't know how the title fits in. I mean, and that's the thing that makes it a little bit more complicated, because do we need to be seriously looking at what the current storylines are? Does that really impact who's going to be the winner or not? I don't know, but it seems like it makes the most sense to consider what's happening right now. Because I mean, when people have cashed in previously, it was because of what the stories were right now. Like Drew McIntyre, he won last year and immediately cashed in that night because he wanted to get back his world heavyweight title. So it's like that is because of the storyline right now. But I don't know.
Then yeah, I agree with it's the men have dominated that regard of who there's going to be one person in there who has said it that it's their mission to become money in the bank winner and then eventually cash in to become champion. With the women, not so much. I don't. There's no easy pick for me. I'm torn between Naomi and Roxanne, honestly. And I'm gonna say Roxanne. I'm just gonna say Roxanne because I like seeing. I would like to see that play. You know, that storyline of her dangling the Money in the Bank briefcase over Liv Morgan's face while she doesn't want her in the group, but Roxanne's helping the group. Like that dynamic is intriguing to me, so I'm into that.
Yeah,
that's where I'm picking it.
And she doesn't have to cash in anytime soon. So,
she doesn't. That's the thing. She doesn't. She has 1 year.
It could also be something where, like, because they kind of have hinted at Kairi Sane and Io Sky going after the women's tag titles. It's possible that maybe Roxanne cashes in when they're defending it or something on Io. Like they take out Io and then she cashes in and becomes women's champion. And then it's like Liv is right there to see it happen, you know? And it's like because of Liv, whatever, taking out Io, that set up Roxanne to be successful or something, you know, that adds more drama.
And everyone in Judgment Day has gold except for Finn Balor and JD, but
poor
except the Irishman.
My babies.
That's tough. Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes taking on John Cena and Logan Paul. It's a toss-up too. I have no effing idea. I have no idea where this is going.
Well, because there's really no rhyme or reason for this happening other than like Cody Rhodes being on the card.
Yeah. No, it's really.
I feel like, okay, if we assume that Jey Uso is gonna lose the title, then I feel like it's got to be Jey and Cody that win, because it's like, let's give him a win before he loses the title, you know what I mean? But I would like it to be like Cena turns on Logan or something. Like he feels like Logan just like fucked it up his chances of winning this match, and he like turns on him, and then that helps Jey and Cody win or something. Because I feel like it's not a great look for these two champions to be in this match and either one of them losing, even if it is a tag match. Like it's not great. Neither of them are going to take the pin. It feels like the easiest one to take the pin is Logan.
Okay. I'm going to go Cena. I think Cena, and I think they win. I don't know how, but maybe Cena pins Cody again. Like I got your number twice. To me, this screams that Cena, like this is going to be a dark end to a pay-per-view. You know, and it also plays
this is
into
the main event.
Oh, 100% is. You have both champions. And
but it's a tag
if
match.
Cena wins and pins Cody or pins Jay, doesn't matter. Wouldn't it be even more fitting? Jay. Okay, it doesn't matter, but pin somebody. Would it be more fitting that Seth Rollins comes in at the end?
Oh yeah,
to cash in. You know, maybe if it's okay, I say he pins Jay. I say Jay gets pinned. Just for arguments purposes. I have no idea who's gonna get pinned, but just for arguments purposes.
Okay.
Cena pins Jay, yeah, rah rah. Jay's on the mat. Cena's music's hitting. You hear "Burn down. Jay's on the mat. Cena's raising his title. He looks over. He gives a quick smile to Seth because it could be whatever. He's liking what he's seeing. And then that's how it's done. Yeah, I like it, so I'm gonna go with it.
Alrighty.
That's how I'm feeling. We're changing up how we do our predictions now because after the AEW Double or Nothing, where you went to Sweep City, that was tough. No, you didn't go. I'm sorry. No, you got one wrong, but I got.
Yeah, but
you got. Yeah. I got 3 wrong. You got 1. Whatever. Because we both. I didn't. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Becky and Lyra Valkyria for the women's intercontinental title match. This one, it's Becky Lynch.
Becky's
it needs to be Becky Lynch.
Because if that's not what happens, there's no reason for this to continue. I mean, I don't think that it has to necessarily continue, but I do think if we're trying to elevate Lyra to like a new stratosphere in the WWE, then it makes sense for her to still be connected to Becky in a way after this. And if you take the title or you keep the title on her, I worry about like what does she do after that? You know, like there's nothing set up for her after feuding with Becky. So that makes me worried that she would just like fall back into obscurity again. Whereas her losing the title to Becky keeps her connected to Becky for at least, another PLE, while also we're hoping that we'll see Bayley inserted into this in some way so that she can be in this feud or she can be going after the title or at least that she can be on the Evolution card.
Mm-hmm. This needs to be on the Evolution card. I agree with that. And the fact that this has been so good so far, you know what I mean? It doesn't need a reason to end. And Becky Lynch winning doesn't give it a reason to end it. It does the complete opposite.
Have
it gives
her
it a
win
reason
from
to continue.
cheating.
Exactly. That's that's the whole point. Like she's going to win. That's right. Like she's going to win.
This is it's like one of the oldest tales of time in wrestling. When there's a feud, they flip-flop. It's like win, lose, win. This is Becky's turn to win. Because if she loses again to Lyra, there's no reason for Lyra to give her another match. So, and there's no reason to believe that Bayley's going to come back and she's going to come back as a heel. No, she's going to come back and want to feud with Becky. And it makes sense for this to be a triple threat Evolution. In my book.
I'm with you. I'm friggin' with you. It makes no sense for it. So